Hi, ladies and gentlemen. What if I said it's really dumb to trust your smart device? So, in today's day and age, as everyone's well aware, technology is everywhere, and there's no going back. These tools have made life a lot easier, and they're great in a lot of ways. But I'm going to today attempt to persuade you to drastically reduce and minimize the amount of trust and sensitive data that you're putting into these devices. I'm going to touch on a concept which is the Internet of Things. Um, and then I'm going to move into your cell phone and how it's connected to everything. And then I'm going to move into like some newer territory, which is self-driving or smart cars or self-automated vehicles that implement smart operating system software. So, with the Internet of Things, it's a relatively newer concept that was born with high-speed internet and wireless capability and connectivity with everything around it. So Jacob Morgan did a really good write-up on this for Forbes entitled "The Internet of Things," and he basically describes it as anything with an on-off switch that has the ability to be connected to the internet. Uh, this is accurate, and it's important to think of this as just a network. So, um, for example, your phone connected to a wireless speaker or to another device, or your phone opening your garage door, or um, your phone connected to your computer. Notice your phone is connected to a lot of things. Um, and this is a concept basically just says that anything that can connect to the internet can connect with each other and can communicate. And you're also sending up vast amount of data up to a cloud or a server or somewhere. Um, and this is all well and good, except, say, for example, we don't know how secure from A to B is. So, for example, on your home, a lot of newer homes are being installed with smart water, gas, and electrical meters. They develop trends and they kind of optimize whenever the house is the usage for the occupant. But this is scary because a hacker or someone could just sit in the middle between A and B, so device and cloud, and just develop a report right here and see, you know, when you're waking up, when you take a shower, when you leave for work, when you come home, when you go to bed. Um, and that's a huge privacy concern. That's a huge insight into someone's life, into their home, that is a real issue, at least in my eyes. Um, so with the network concept being in place, that takes me to cell phones. So cell phones today are far from what they were. They are very capable devices, capable of handling a lot of information at once and storing a lot of information. These devices, again, going back to the Internet of Things, it's part of a network in most cases. Your phone is probably connected to a lot of different things. It could be your bank account. It could be your Bluetooth speaker. It could be your garage door. It could be your heating and cooling in the house. It could be lighting. There's a lot of applications these days for your mobile device. Um, you put a lot of credentials, a lot of usernames and passwords, and they are stored locally in your device, not in the web browser or the application, but in the device. Um, and that's a scary thing because if you lose a cell phone or a cell phone's compromised today, it's not like, oh, I gotta put all my contacts back in it. You lose a lot of very, very sensitive personal information that could be detrimental to you or those around you. And a really cool video interview by Katie Roof for TechCrunch magazine. She interviewed Adi Sharabani, who is CEO of SkyCure Security Solutions. And SkyCure is like a mobile application-based security firm that um, really aims to protect mobile devices. Addie actually took her phone and was able to show her a program that he spoofed or falsified and made look completely legitimate, had her download, and then would install a malicious code that would run in the background in the root directory of the phone. So the user, like, I wouldn't be able to see it. She wasn't able to see it. It just runs in the background. And what it's doing is it's sending everything, mirroring everything that she's doing from the phone to Addie's computer. Addie not only had access to like look and see what her URL history and browser history and favorites and SMS and messages and her contacts and recent calls, everything on her device was. He also had an actual display of her device and was able to control it. He could redirect from different URLs. He could scroll through different pages of the phone. It was an iPhone. And he could manipulate the phone completely remotely. So complete compromisation of the phone. Again, going back to the Internet of Things, if you lose one part of the network, your node, just about everything is compromised. He could have had control over her Bluetooth speaker or her house, whatever the phone was connected to, which is incredibly scary. Which this brings me to the last thing, so the automated vehicles. This is a really budding topic, a serious concern for the security community, and it's important to understand that with all new technology, there will be vulnerabilities, bugs, things that need to be worked out. But even like simpler systems. So there was a write-up that Andy Greenberg did for Wired magazine, and it was entitled "Hackers Remotely Kill a Jeep on Highway with Me in It." So these hackers, these guys, were 10 miles away, and they were able to successfully completely remotely control this Jeep Cherokee. This was in 2015. Not only were they able to display themselves on the dash, the display board, and kind of video conference him, but they were able to control the radio, windshield wipers, the fluid. They killed the car. They had control over the brakes, acceleration, everything, because it's all integrated into one electrical system, which is really, really scary, considering that we're going to put vehicles out there that implement sensor technology and cloud computing technology to control and navigate unmanned. So there are a lot of potential vulnerabilities with these unmanned missiles, pretty much, that need to be worked out before they're put into circulation. Even seeing this was a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee. The vulnerabilities are there; they're very real, and it's coming. So today we talked about the Internet of Things. We talked about cell phones, the root of all evil, and we talked about a potential new vulnerability that's kind of scary. I hope this is enlightening and is persuasive, and I hope that everyone takes a step back and thinks twice before putting something or giving someone credentials for your phone, a password, leaving it unlocked, or leaving anything vulnerable. It's very important to stay, I don't want to say paranoid, but stay cautious and smart. Be safe with the information, because your information says a lot about you. And if you lose one part of it, these days the whole network can go down. Like everything, it's a house of cards.